Right now, somewhere in the world, a Bitcoin transaction just got confirmed. No bank approved it. No company processed it. No government had any say in it. And yet, within minutes, that transaction was permanently recorded in a ledger that has been running non-stop since January 3rd, 2009. Nobody owns this ledger. Nobody controls it. And nobody, no hacker, no government, no billion-dollar corporation has ever successfully altered it. How is that even possible? That's exactly what we're breaking down today. The actual technical architecture of the Bitcoin blockchain explained clearly, precisely, and in a way that actually makes sense. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand Bitcoin's infrastructure better than most people who own it. The origin. Before Bitcoin, two critical pieces of technology already existed. In 1979, Ralph Merkle patented a cryptographic data structure called a hash tree. In 1992, researchers Haber and Stornetta proposed chaining digital records together using cryptography so historical data couldn't be tampered with. The missing piece was a way to make this work without any central authority. In 2008, right as the global financial system was collapsing, an anonymous figure named Satoshi Nakamoto published a 9-page white paper proposing exactly that: a peer-to-peer electronic cash system running on a public cryptographic ledger maintained by thousands of computers worldwide with no institution in the middle. On January 3rd, 2009, Satoshi mined Block 0, the Genesis block. Embedded inside it was a newspaper headline from that exact day: Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. That wasn't accidental. That was a statement. And from that single block, the chain has grown, one block every 10 minutes, for over 16 years without stopping. What is a blockchain, precisely? A blockchain is a distributed, append-only ledger secured by cryptographic hashing and maintained across a decentralized peer-to-peer network. Let's break that down. Distributed means no central copy exists. Right now, over 24,000 computers across dozens of countries each hold an identical, complete copy of the Bitcoin blockchain. Destroy 1,000 of them, the rest keep running. Append only means data can be added but never changed. The ledger only moves forward. Cryptographic hashing is the mathematical mechanism that enforces that permanence, and we're about to get into exactly how. The cryptographic foundation. Everything in the Bitcoin blockchain depends on one function, SHA-256. You feed it any input, a word, a transaction, an entire block, and it produces a fixed 64-character output called a hash. Always the same length, always deterministic, the same input always produces the same output. But two properties make it extraordinary. First, the avalanche effect. Change even one character of the input, and the output hash changes completely and unpredictably. You'd never guess the two outputs came from similar inputs. Second, it's one way. You cannot reverse engineer the input from the output. There is no shortcut. The only way to find an input that produces a specific hash is pure brute force, trying billions of combinations until you land on it. These two properties are what make the blockchain tamper-proof and what make mining possible. Bitcoin runs double SHA-256, the algorithm applied twice, for additional security. Inside a block, every Bitcoin block has two components: the transaction list and the block header. The transaction list is the actual record of confirmed Bitcoin transactions. Blocks in 2025 typically contain between 2,000 and 4,000 transactions. The block header is the block's identity card. It contains 6 fields. The version number identifies which protocol rules the block follows. The previous block hash is a cryptographic fingerprint of the block before it, the literal chain in blockchain. Change anything in a previous block, and this fingerprint no longer matches, breaking the chain instantly. The Merkle root is a single 32-byte value representing every transaction in the block. More on this in a moment. The timestamp records when the block was created. The difficulty target sets the threshold a block hash must fall below to be valid. And the nonce is the variable miners cycle through billions of times per second searching for a valid hash. The Merkle tree. The Merkle tree is the part most Bitcoin videos gloss over. That's a mistake, because it's one of the most elegant pieces of engineering in this entire system. Here's the problem it solves. A block can contain thousands of transactions. How do you create one compact fingerprint of all of them while still being able to prove any individual transaction is included without downloading everything else? The Merkle tree. Every transaction gets hashed, producing a leaf node. Pairs of leaf nodes get concatenated and hashed together, producing parent nodes. Those parent nodes get paired and hashed again. This continues upward, the tree narrowing at every level, until one single hash remains at the top. That's the Merkle root. 132-byte value representing every transaction in the block. Here's why it's genius. To verify your specific transaction is included in a block of 4,096 transactions, you don't need to download all 4,096. You only need 12 hashes from the correct branches. That's a Merkle proof, and it's what allows lightweight wallets on your phone to verify Bitcoin transactions without holding the entire 700-gigabyte blockchain. The UTSO model. Bitcoin doesn't track ownership through account balances. It uses the UTSO model, unspent transaction output. Think of it like physical cash. When you receive Bitcoin, you receive a UTSO, a discrete chunk of value locked to your wallet address. When you spend it, you consume that UTSO as an input, and the transaction creates new UTXOs as outputs. Simple example, you hold a 2 Bitcoin UTSO and want to send 1 Bitcoin. Your transaction consumes the full 2 BTC input and creates 2 outputs, 1 BTC to the recipient and roughly 1 BTC back to yourself as change, minus fees. The original UTSO is permanently destroyed. 2 new ones take its place. The complete set of all unspent UTXOs across the entire network at any moment represents the full picture of who owns what. Every UTSO in existence can be traced through its entire transaction history, all the way back to the block where it was originally created. Every Satoshi on the Bitcoin network has a documented, auditable history going back to 2009. Proof of work, AND mining. Here's the core problem every decentralized system has to solve. If thousands of computers maintain the same ledger with no central authority, how do they all agree on what's true? Bitcoin's answer is proof of work. Miners collect pending transactions from the network's mempool and build a candidate block. Then they solve a puzzle, find a nonce value such that when combined with the block header and hash through double SHA-256, the result falls below the current difficulty target, meaning it starts with a required number of leading zeros. No formula. No shortcut. Pure brute force. Billions of hash attempts per second until one hits. The first miner to find a valid nonce broadcasts the block. Every node verifies it instantly. Verification is trivial, even though finding the answer is brutally hard, and adds it to their chain. The winning miner earns the block reward, currently 3.125 Bitcoin, plus transaction fees. To keep block times consistently near 10 minutes regardless of how much computing power joins the network, Bitcoin runs a difficulty adjustment every 2016 blocks, roughly every 2 weeks. Blocks coming faster than 10 minutes? Difficulty rises. Slower? It drops. The system self-corrects automatically. Current numbers. As of early 2026, Bitcoin's network hash rate exceeds 1.1 zettahashes per second. Mining difficulty closed 2048 trillion, a 35% increase over the full year. These figures make a 51% attack, where someone seizes control of the network, not just difficult but economically suicidal. The halving AND fixed supply. Bitcoin has a hard cap of 21 million coins, not a promise, not a policy. Code enforced by every node on the network simultaneously. The mechanism is the halving. Every 210,000 blocks, the block reward miners receive is cut in half. 2009, 50 BTC per block. 2012, 25, 2016, 0.5, 2020, 6.25, April 2024, 3.125, where it stands today. As of late 2025, 19.94 million Bitcoin have been mined, 94.9% of the total supply. The final Bitcoin won't be mined until approximately 2140. What this creates is a monetary policy that is fully transparent, fully predictable, and completely immune to political interference. No central bank can print more. No government can inflate the supply. The issuance schedule runs on mathematics. Every 10 minutes, block by block, exactly as designed. The newest development, Taproot Assets, allows stablecoins like US to be minted on Bitcoin and transferred via Lightning. Tether announced this integration in 2025. Bitcoin security now anchors a fully functional multi-asset payment network without touching a single line of base layer code. The Bitcoin blockchain is a distributed ledger secured by SHA-256 cryptography, organized by Merkle trees, tracking ownership through UTXOs, maintained by proof of work, and governed by a fixed supply schedule no institution can override. 16 years. Zero downtime. Never successfully hacked at the protocol level. Over a zettahash per second of global security. That's not just a cryptocurrency. That's a new kind of infrastructure. If this video gave you real value, subscribe. More breakdowns exactly like this one are coming.